Welcome to Life Made Simple. Today we're doing a review of the RIMiQ inflator tool called the InflatIQ. If you're in the market for a portable inflator tool for your vehicle, bike, ATV, or sporting equipment, make sure to watch this review video first. We're going to do an unboxing to show you everything that this nifty tool comes with, and then we'll perform a series of tests on its dual power source capabilities and applicability in various inflation situations. And by the end of this video, we hope to help you make an informed decision on whether or not you want to spend your hard-earned money on this device. Let's get to the unboxing. This is what I received in the mail. So let's just open it up here. See that it's good for a whole bunch of stuff. Ball, motorcycle, bicycle, vehicle, phone, tablet. Alright, so how many things are we going to test with it? Let's find out. Okay, it's all wrapped up. Nice little carry case. Kind of soft vinyl. Pretty sturdy zipper. RIMiQ, I guess is the name of the company. Obviously this one is InflatIQ, and it says it's got multiple charging. You can use it as rechargeable, you can plug it in for endless use. It's 150 psi. So here's the device itself. Okay, not too bad, it's not too big. Look at it, so it's red this way. So turn until click. It's got a light, constant power, charge power in, power out. Let's take this off. Looks nice. So it's got a bunch of buttons. Just got to hold it down. Now it's on. It's got a image of a truck. All right. So this. Oh, I see different modes: basketball, person. Okay, I guess you can inflate a person. That's neat. Inflate a vehicle. Inflate a. Looks like an ATV. Maybe a quad. Bicycle tires. Basketball. Oh, this is the light. On and off the light, okay. And what else we got here? The letter U. Okay, unit. PSI is what the current PSI for that tire is probably going to be, which is it's 0. It's not hooked up to anything. And then I'm setting 35 PSI, or for a lot of Hondas, 32 PSI. Okay. Oh, it has different modes. So one click is on, another click is blinking, another click is SOS. If you don't know Morse code, now you do. And then off. Okay, so it's got 3 modes for that flashlight. Alright, let's see what else it comes with in this carry case here. We got... Hey, alright, it's got valve caps. I could use some of those. Obviously the inflate connections, like whether it's for a basketball or a volleyball, or whatever else. Okay, so that. Obviously a charging cable. This is most likely the one that you're going to connect up to it so it can actually inflate a tire. And then the DC-12 plug-in. So that all seems pretty straightforward. So that's everything that comes in the box, nicely laid out. Obviously those we'll use as needed. So if you have a 12-volt power supply, you're obviously going to plug it into that thing that says constant power. This one, turn until click. I can do that, put it in there, and it clicked. Seems pretty straightforward. And then this other end is obviously going to go on our tire. And we're going to see how this goes with bicycle tires, car tires. What we're going to do is we're going to see how many tires we can get it to inflate from 0 to 32 PSI, and then some bicycle tires as well. So let's see how long this battery lasts. I am going to give it a quick charge here just to make sure it's fully charged, but it just came out of the box and it's probably been sitting on a shelf somewhere. So I'm going to give it a full charge, and then we'll get to the tests. And then here are the last things it comes with. There's a user manual, inflate, precautions, packing list, specifications, user guide, lifetime warranty. So register within 90 days, follow them. And then here looks like a kind of a quick start guide. Yes, it is. Quick start. Attach, press and hold button for 3 seconds, select car setting, preset, screw on the hose, press power to start, device will auto stop on the preset PSI, and hold for 3 seconds to power off. So pretty straightforward usage. Looking forward to it. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like when it's charging. Basically plug in the cable that it came with. It's USB-C. And while it's charging, I'm expecting that when it is fully charged, it'll probably turn green or something. So once it's fully charged, we'll get to the testing. All right, you'll notice here it's blinking in green. I assume that means that when it was orange, the battery level wasn't that high. So now that it's blinking green, I'm assuming it's higher. So the battery itself is not a full empty look. It's more like probably red, orange, and green. Anyway, just wanted to give you an update on the status of the charging. It's obviously still charging, and I assume that when it's done, it's going to be a solid green, and then we're good to go. Here for the first test, we've got bike tires. These are small kind of BMX bike tires, so they're basically 40 PSI. Okay, secure on. Let's take a look at this guy here. Let's turn this thing on. And it's 22 PSI, and we want to set it to 40. Oh, it's a bicycle. It's at 22, we want to set it to 40. Okay, so we've got it at 22 PSI, we want it at 40. We just press the power button to start it. Cool, all right, let's undo this. Perfect, we'll go to the front tire now. Do the same thing. Let's see how long this battery is going to hold up for. So this one's got 18.5 PSI in it. We want 40. Let's get going. Okay, so that works just fine for bike tires. And we're going to move on to regular tires. And honestly, that I'm not surprised it worked fine. Bike tires are probably the easiest thing. But once you get into car tires, let's see how much juice it's going to take and how long this battery actually lasts. So over here, we've got 4 tires. They're just winter tires that we took off the vehicles. And for these tires here, I'm going to inflate them just a little bit more. We'll get the second one to do this one from 0 to 32. But for those ones, I'll get them up to something reasonable, like maybe 25. And see if they can finish it off to go from 25 to 32 and see how long that takes, and we'll time these ones for you. Okay, so it's been sitting here for a little bit and it auto-powered off, which is good, I suppose. So I'm going to turn it back on. And again, this tire is at 0. It looks like the battery is now at orange. So after doing the 2 bike tires and 1 tire from 0 to 32 PSI, the battery is showing orange, which I'm not surprised. It's a lot of effort for it to go take a tire from 0 to 32. But I'm going to do that again in this case. We're going to run this one to get this one up to 32 PSI, and we're going to time how long this one takes. So let's get started here. Just get my stopwatch ready, make sure it's on vehicle, set it to 32. Stopwatch is ready, and we'll get started. Okay, so that took 5 minutes and 5 seconds. So we've got this ugly squishy ball that's deflated. So this is the attachment that it comes with for basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, etc. So there we go. Oh, it's red. Okay, so after that last one, it's red, but hopefully we have enough juice for this. Switch it to, like, in this case, looks like a basketball, so obviously it's a sporting item. Defaults to 8 PSI, so let's go, and this shouldn't take long. Okay, so there, 8 PSI. I said it shouldn't take long, but you know what? I think the different settings kind of manage how fast the air is going to inflate. So it took longer than I expected, but that's fine. I mean, it's for volleyball in this case, and it probably doesn't want to overinflate it too quickly. So there we go. 8 PSI, done. Still got a little bit of juice left, but I'm obviously not going to try to do another 2 more tires from 0 to 32 PSI. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recharge this actually, and I'm going to get the other 2 tires up to about 25 PSI. So far this is working pretty good, I'd say, but I'm going to do a comparison. So I've got a Ryobi tire inflator and I've got this, and I'm going to put them side by side for the last test. We'll see which one's faster and more convenient. That'll be our last test. Alright, we're going to do a side by side comparison here. You can see this tire is at 27 PSI, and this one is also at 27. If you can see it, there you go. We'll do a side by side and get them both up to 32 and see which one's faster. So first on here, I'm going to set this to 32, which is really easy to do. And then that one we have to hold manually, but we'll do the side by side. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the one on the right was quicker because this one only got to 31.5 and the other one's at 32. I'm going to explain some of the power related features that this has. So if you look on the back here, obviously that connector is for connecting it to the tire or whatever it is that you're inflating. This has a USB-A power out, so if you need to charge your cell phone or whatever, you can use the USB-A port to power whatever to charge your mobile device. This is USB-C. This is how you'd normally charge this battery up. So you just charge it, plug it in. I've noticed it takes probably a couple of hours to fully charge. And then the last one here is constant power. So if you don't want to run off battery or you're out of battery, you can use a 12-volt battery source, which I'll show you here. And the main difference, you'll notice it's on 12 volt because when you first turn this thing on, it'll show you that battery indicator. So it might be green, it might be orange, and it might be red. I'm going to turn this off now. And I've got a 12 volt power source here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in there. And then I'll connect it to this device. So now if you turn it on, you'll notice there's no battery indicator. So when this is running off of 12 volt power, there's no battery indicator. If you are running off battery, it's going to show you that indicator. So that's a nice feature to have in terms of multi-power for this particular unit. Have note, one of the things this doesn't do is deflate an object, like a tire. And I suppose if you wanted to kind of tighten this in a little bit, but not fully, you could get it to reduce the air pressure in something, although it's kind of slow and really isn't designed for that. So one of the things it doesn't do is deflate. All right, now I'm going to demonstrate using the inflator with a 12 volt power supply plugged in. As a note, let's say you've plugged this power supply in, but it's not plugged into anything here. It's not going to turn on. Okay, so if it's expecting power plugged into here, it senses it's been connected, but there's no actual power, it's not going to turn on. So let's power this back in, plug in the 12 volt. So now if I hold it on, it's going to turn on. So now it's plugged into 12 volt power. It's connected to the tire. It's showing 25.5 psi. I want to crank it up to 32. Just hit the power button and off we go. So it's great to have the extra feature of being able to run off of 12 volt power instead of simply off the battery. I wouldn't say it inflates any faster. I think the inflation rate is still the same whether it's plugged into 12 volts or if you're running off battery, but it's great to have that dual power option. So this portable inflator is pretty useful, I'd say. Like the power options it has, the ability to use it as a charger, it's got the emergency light, obviously really easy to use. In terms of price value, I think that depends on you as an individual. I mean, we have 3 different vehicles and we have 4 bicycles. So we've got winter tires, summer tires, we've got 24 tires. Plus we've got the bicycle ones, which make up another 8. So I would say we use it fairly consistently. However, price point versus value is kind of up to you. So this particular unit, if you look on Amazon here, so they sell the blue one on Amazon for $245 Canadian. They sell the pink one for $188 Canadian. And if you go to their website, because this is the actual one that I have, which is the teal one. It's not blue and it's not pink, but the teal one available on the website is 130 US, which is about 180 bucks Canadian. I'm not sure actually what the difference is between the various versions and the colors. They all seem to contain the same product with the same accessories and the same features. But the question is, would you pay $180 to $245 Canadian for a device like this? Overall, I would say the functionality, the usability, the portability, not extremely heavy, not light either, so it seems sturdy enough, is pretty good value. I hope that video helps. If you found it helpful, please let me know by hitting that like button. Leave a comment if you've tried out this device, have a different opinion, or have other suggestions. And lastly, remember to subscribe for our latest DIY and tool review videos. Thanks for watching.